Reviews coming to you tonight with another review. Actually, it's a fan requested item. I was a little scared to try it at first, but I was at the grocery store today and figured I'd give it a try. I wish the viewer had a username. Actually, in the area, they're from Clearwater. They're known as the Clearwater Night Dream. So here's to you. We're reviewing Bud Light Orange. I know, orange in a beer. You think orange soda when you hear, like Sunkist, when you hear orange flavored things, especially in a beer. But it said brewed with real orange peels, so I figured it's going to be more on the blunt side and not so sweet. Beers like this always remind me of like wine coolers and Smirnoff Ice. That's why I tend to stay away from them. I know Bud Light is known for doing like Lime-A-Ritas. I actually saw someone in front of me today buying Lime-A-Ritas with a strawberry one. I don't know what that whole thing's about, but yeah, Smirnoffs and stuff like this, wine coolers, they're kind of like beer with training wheels. This is like a lot of, I knew some people growing up that when we were in our teens and whatnot, instead of getting beer, they would get the Smirnoff Ices. And everybody's like, hey, why are you drinking that Smirnoff Ice? What are you, homosexual? It was, the early 2000s, people were woke back then. Well, anyways, we're going to give this a try. Okay. Right away, there's too much orange. I'll just be honest with you. Right away, way too much orange. I know that it's definitely a background taste, but there's very little beer to be tasted here. It's trying to be subtle. It's just still loud in there. I'll say this, compared to those drinks I was talking about you before with the Smirnoff Ices and the wine coolers, the Zimas back in the 90s, people used to drink with those. Those were the training wheel beers. Now it might be like Mike's Hard Cider or whatever it is. It's okay for something like that. It's more closely related to a beer. Like, as I'm drinking this, I can taste the Bud Light within. And the most complicated part of this review is actually going to be going into how you review a domestic beer, a value beer. This is truly a value review. This 6-pack was probably, it was about $6 at Publix. With Bud Light and Miller Lite and Coors Light, stuff like this, they don't get rated high on. There's multiple categories that go into a beer. There's taste, smell. That doesn't mean you smell the beer like a wine connoisseur. That's like kind of what you smell as you're drinking it, or maybe you're smelling your own breath. So taste, smell, complexity. Like with the Sam Smith I had, I didn't go too far into it, but like as I kept drinking it, like more notes were coming out of it. With these type of beers, a lot of these categories aren't going to matter. It's about carbonation, drinkability, and mostly about drinkability. So I'm going to be basically rating this on drinkability. Because Bud Light normally, just as for a comparison, Bud Light does not have any complexity. It's almost like a seltzer water with hops, like mild hops. The drinkability is like, my God, I've had more drinkable beers, but Bud Light, the drinkability scores around like an 8.5. You know what I'm saying? And like complexity 0. With something like a pale ale or something, you'll get the complexity will be like a 9. but the drinkability will be like a 4. I'm just giving you a gauge of how I rate this type of stuff, especially they call this, you know, like a value beer. Let's see. It was a little shocking at first. It's becoming more subtle as I'm drinking it. It's more like a beer, like I said, than those other wine cooler-ish drinks. With Bud Light, you know, the drinkability I said is like an 8. With this, we're going to give it a solid 6.5. I'm surprised. I mean, the orange hits you right away, but as you're drinking it, it's like, if you close your eyes, you'd be like, there's just a beer. Somebody dropped an orange in here. No big deal. There's not any fruit juice in it or anything like that. I think it was actually orange peel. They just used so much orange peel, it almost tastes like an orange. Excellent selection here. I don't know if I could, you know, drink 3 of these, but, you know, I'll just keep it in my fridge and pop one of them out when I'm feeling, you know, a little bit, switch it up from, you know, the Amstels and just the common beers. Well, there it is. There's the review. Oh, yeah, I didn't rate it. What do you know? I'm going to give this a 6.0. I gave the Bud Light a 6.0 too, but I gave you the drinkability rating here. The drinkability, you know, important. Anyways, guys, hope you're having a great night. It's Sunday, fun day. I'm sure you guys are watching some football, relaxing, getting ready for the work week. It's coming. Have a great night, and look forward to more fan reviews. I actually have a couple more coming up on my mind. We're going to do a value pizza review. You can only buy it at Winn-Dixie, so this is like truly a value item. I'm going to do that pretty soon. And there's a couple more fan requests I have to fulfill. So, all right, guys, have a good one.